guys, welcome back to the Daily Channel. I'd like to share a personal story, and I really want you to hang in until the end of this because it's very important and it wraps up pretty much in manifestation a lot of what I talk about as far as the content that I put on here. I grew up with extremely talented, very well known, a music producer, and it's my dad, and he was just absolutely my creative idol growing up, my hero as far as like being able to create and produce things that were so spectacular. When I was a kid, all I wanted to do was sing, act, and dance. And I begged my parents, please get me an agent, especially because I felt like they were so connected. I mean, I was growing up around some of the most famous artists, but that's not what they wanted for me. And looking back, I respect that, especially nowadays with all the stuff that is coming out. I did manifest a talent manager who found me in a play, and I was about 14 years old, and I did have a really good first year of auditioning, like high quality auditions. And suddenly I was sort of off and running in doing exactly what it is that I wanted to do for so long. And then tragedy struck. My family fell apart, and we really needed to find our own ways to grieve and try to find a way to heal from this pretty much unspeakable situation that we were in. And I ended up being able to learn how to dance really well, how to dance ballroom and Latin, a competitive dancer and a certified teacher. And it was just all really great training. And I'm actually so happy that I decided to take that route at that point because my self esteem was so low. My sense of self was catastrophic, basically. You have to be so confident in who you are. When I was dancing competitively, there was a couple undefeated, national and world champions. And he had teamed up with this woman who was also in the company, who was known for being wildly successful with her schools in business. So through a sequence of events and coincidences, and by the way, this is when I was at like a very, very low point in my life, I got offered to move to Arizona, manage this particular dance studio. And I was going to be receiving free training. And I did really, really well for like the first year and a half. But I was doing the job of what normally three people would do. And it was very, very stressful. And I was getting sick a lot, and I didn't really understand what was going on. And I was having to take a lot of time off work, and then that would stress me out. And, you know, little did I know that I was really experiencing the early symptoms of my autoimmune disease, which is ankylosing spondylitis. It's an autoimmune disease that attacks and degenerates your spine. And when you have flare ups, it can basically just cause total joint inflammation in your entire body. And also, it really affects your stomach. So you'll get inflammation in your stomach lining, and that'll cause you basically just to feel so sick. And it also makes you really bloated, because you're inflamed. And I remember being in a flare and not really know what was going on. And one of my, bosses was there. She said, you look about 6 months pregnant, and I want you to, here's $20 bill. I want you to go to the drugstore and get a pregnancy test. I was kind of already stressed enough, and that's not what I wanted. I ended up getting fired. At that time, it was really, really devastating. I mean, I just felt so disposable, so just discarded. It just felt completely so unfair. But looking back, it really was one of the best things to ever happen. And it was funny because during that time, I actually was feeling inspired to start writing a book. So, like on my lunch hour, I would start working on it. And I guess word got to my bosses that I was writing a book, and that was also one of the things that was said to me when I was let go was, you can, go and write your book or whatever. Well, I did end up writing a book, and I can say that I'm a published author now. So the point being is that sometimes these things, they end up being some of the best things to ever happen to you. Okay. So flash forward to now. I always felt there was going to be something that was going to allow me to create, something that would be so impactful and so creatively beautiful. And it just never made sense how that could happen. How could that happen if I'm not living in LA? I ended up having an impulse to reach out kind of randomly and was like, you know what? I don't know why, but I really feel like I need to tell you a story, and it's my story. And there's not a whole lot I can disclose right now, obviously, but if you know me, you know that this is an extremely compelling, heartbreaking, but beautiful story. Things are starting to take shape and unfold, and it happened in a way that it worked out for the benefit of everyone. I've accomplished so much still on top of my goals as a dancer. And then I did write a book and publish it. And then I did become a successful medium, which was also really important to me. There's so many gifts and talents that we have. And so if you feel like there's something that you really, really, really want, and you feel like it's a part of you and it's supposed to be a part of your story, then it is, and it's coming. But when you look at it from the proper perspective, the timing is perfect and the timing is now. And there's things that needed to happen in order for this to take shape. And you know what the most important thing is? I am so much more self assured, compassionate to myself, understanding my limitations, but also my capabilities. And that's so important. Please take this story as a sign that if you've been wanting something and it hasn't manifested yet, it's on its way to you. When it does start to manifest, it's going to be the perfect time. And you'll be so thankful that you got to nurture other gifts and talents that you have, because you're meant to do so many things in life, and you're meant to have an impact. And you can do that through so many different avenues. So I look forward to sharing my story with you. So stay tuned. Thanks for listening, you guys. Aloha.